if you could well imagine, I was born during a time when segregation was legal. So there were walls of separation, literally and figuratively, maintaining separation of groups of people based on their racial group membership. That was toxic. That was irrational and something that I could not abide. I really thought I had been born into the wrong place. I thought Little Rock was some sort of an aberration, that outside Little Rock people must be sane. And that lasted until I was able to move around and see that everybody in the world was crazy.
Well, it's just like if black and white go together in the same room and sit and talk, small talk, and drink a cup of coffee, and you don't get struck by lightning. That's a big deal.
Right.
Now that sounds silly in this day and age, but that's about where things were then, that you just didn't want to, you couldn't break those rules of segregation.
Right.
And so that built our courage, I think. That yes, you know, we could start doing something.
One has to decide which way you're going. And I couldn't be spat on anymore. I couldn't be, I couldn't take it. So I stopped. And I decided then and there that what I needed to do was to get prepared to do something that could contribute to the continued destruction of barriers that existed.
But that's a great gift that led to the transformation, because guess what I read when I went to seminary? You have any idea?
Tell us.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from the Birmingham City Jail.
Tell us about that, when you first read that.
Well, I wept for 3 weeks. Because I discovered I was a part of a culture that was in opposition to God.
We were fighting for equality in jobs, education, and just being able to go into society and choose places where you wanted to go. Not because of your race, but because you were a human being and you felt like you were entitled to the same things.
The plan was to go to school and at a certain time walk out. And there were people driving around the schools offering rides to 16th Street Baptist Church. That was the central location from which these marches would take place. And walking to school and talking to others about going to jail. Of course, I had planned my day by packing my purse, toothpaste, soap, change of underwear, my sister's jacket. I just got everything I thought I would need because I was determined I was going to jail so I could go and get my freedom. And that was a phrase that we were reiterating. We were going to go and get our freedom. And so that was the thing that motivated me to just do whatever was necessary.
It was voter registration work. And what that meant was walking down red clay roads of very rural communities and knocking on people's doors, on African American people's doors, and encouraging them to go and register to vote. Repeating the same thing over and over again to people who were absolutely justified in being afraid to try to register to vote. Because what would happen to them is generally they would lose their jobs. Maybe they would have their house burned down. Maybe they would get beaten up. Several got killed. When you went to register to vote, your name appeared in the paper for 2 weeks.
We went in, and there were maybe 10 of us. We had a seat at the lunch counter, and the waitress saw us coming, so she ran in the back. They were peeking at us through a peephole in the door. Sat there for maybe 5 minutes or so, and then next thing you know, here comes police through the door. And they came directly to me because I was the captain of the group. How he knew I was the captain, I don't know. But he did come to me. This one particular officer came to me, and he said, you're protesting without a permit, and I'm going to ask you to leave. And I refused. I didn't say a word. He said it again. You're protesting without a permit. Now you will go to jail if you don't get out of here. I acted just like he didn't say anything. So finally he said, all right, everybody here, get up, line up, and go outside. Well, we knew we had been taught, if you don't, then you're resisting arrest. So we got up and we lined up outside the building.
We all planned a rally, a march, a civil rights march, to all go to that school campus one day and literally, in our own right, step up on the campus that our parents were paying taxes for. And it had also come down and we were made aware that if we put our foot on that grass, we would be arrested and go to jail. So yeah, I had hoped that the lasting, that action would have a long-term lasting effect. Ta-da, which it has, right? Yeah, that's why you can look pretty much in any state around this country now and see, students of any and every race, going to school.
We were doing the freedom rides. I don't think we had any idea of the enormity of this in terms of what it would do to change history. I think the initial goal was to get signs taken down, being able to ride and eat and use the restroom wherever you want. Yeah, but those things had to happen. And then comes what? Voting rights, civil rights, legislation, and so forth. So
the day when I see blacks can vote, women can serve on juries, and 18-year-olds can vote, Latinos can vote, and indeed, a black man can become president. Those are civil rights victories, but they all require lots of determined action and required strength and courage and sacrifice to make it happen. I look back, I am impressed with those games. That's unfinished business, but we have made great strides.
Brown say, this is my neighbor, this is my community. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make it what I want it to be, where I want to raise my children. And the worst thing that can happen to this city and to this country is people feel like there's nothing I can do or leave it to somebody else to do. No, it's you. One person can make a difference.
Stand up. Do what you know is right. Be firm. Don't wait on somebody else to do it. You do it. You get up. You start it.